And today's breaking news.
Breaking news. The FDA has just dropped a bombshell on the world of compounded GLP-1 medications. Aequita Pharmacy, a well-known name in the compounding game, has been officially shut down. And if that wasn't enough, new developments from Mochi Health are shaking things up even further. What does this mean for patients? What's next for the GLP-1 market? Stay tuned because we're breaking down all the latest updates right now. Aequita Pharmacy shutdown. What happened? First, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Aequita Pharmacy has officially been forced to shut its doors. If you're wondering why, let's rewind. Aequita was one of the biggest compounders of GLP-1 medications, including compounded versions of semaglutide and tirzepatide. For months, the FDA has been clamping down on compounding pharmacies offering these drugs, citing safety concerns, improper sourcing, and potential violations of drug compounding laws. The FDA has been clear: compounding pharmacies cannot legally compound drugs that are commercially available unless there's a documented shortage. But here's the twist. Many patients have been turning to compounders like Aequita because of the insane cost and limited availability of brand-name GLP-1 medications. For those unfamiliar, compounding pharmacies create customized versions of medications to meet individual patient needs. However, the FDA argues that in the case of GLP-1 drugs, these compounded versions may not meet the same safety and efficacy standards as their FDA-approved counterparts. So, what does this mean for Aequita customers? Patients who have relied on their compounded versions of Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro are now scrambling for alternatives. Some are panicking about where to source their next dose. Others are furious at the FDA for what they see as a crackdown that only benefits big pharma. Many believe that the shutdown of Aequita isn't about patient safety, but rather about eliminating competition. And when competition disappears, prices rise, leaving everyday people struggling to afford life-changing medication. The FDA's latest move, a crackdown in full force. But this isn't just about Aequita. The FDA has been stepping up its enforcement against compounding pharmacies across the country. They've been sending warning letters, conducting surprise inspections, and now forcing some operations to shut down. Their reasoning? Quality control issues, potential contamination risks, and the fact that some of these compounds might not contain the exact same active ingredients as the FDA-approved versions. But let's be real, this crackdown benefits one group more than anyone else: pharmaceutical giants like Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. And guess what? Patients are caught in the crossfire. The FDA has also issued stricter guidelines on what compounding pharmacies can and cannot do, making it increasingly difficult for these facilities to continue operations. This regulatory tightening has left smaller pharmacies struggling to keep up with compliance, forcing many to shut down or significantly scale back their offerings. Mochi Health makes a move. What does this mean? Now, let's shift gears to another major update: Mochi Health. If you don't know, Mochi is one of the biggest telehealth providers offering GLP-1 prescriptions, and they've just made a major announcement following the Aequita shutdown. Mochi has reportedly stopped working with certain compounding pharmacies in response to the FDA's crackdown. Instead, they're shifting their focus towards FDA-approved options and working directly with manufacturers. This move has some patients relieved, but others are frustrated, as this could mean higher prices and limited availability. Some patients are calling this a sellout move, while others see it as a necessary step to ensure medication safety. But one thing is clear: Mochi's decision is yet another sign that the days of easy access to compounded GLP-1s might be coming to an end. What's next? So, what happens now? With Aequita out of the picture and the FDA tightening its grip, Patients looking for affordable alternatives are left with fewer options. Here's what we know so far. More compounding pharmacies could be facing shutdowns or restrictions. Telehealth providers are reevaluating their partnerships. Patients may have to rely more on brand name GLP-1s if they can afford them. Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly stand to gain the most from this crackdown. Some experts predict that the shortage of GLP-1 medications will get worse before it gets better. And as for compounding pharmacies, their future is hanging by a thread. But one thing is certain, this battle isn't just about legality, it's about access, affordability, and power. Alternative options for patients. With the FDA's crackdown tightening, where can patients turn now? Some options include seeking prescriptions from international pharmacies, looking into alternative weight loss medications, or considering lifestyle changes to help manage weight and metabolic health. While GLP-1 medications have been revolutionary, they are not the only way to achieve weight loss and blood sugar control. Experts recommend discussing options with healthcare providers before making any decisions. Patients may also consider newer weight loss treatments in the pipeline, including upcoming GLP-1 receptor agonists that are still in clinical trials but could hit the market in the coming years. The pharmaceutical industry reacts. Meanwhile, pharmaceutical companies are closely watching these developments. Stocks for Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly have been climbing as demand for their GLP-1 drugs skyrockets. Could this crackdown be part of a bigger strategy to eliminate competition? Some industry insiders believe so. One thing is certain, this battle between regulators, compounding pharmacies, and big pharma is far from over. And as always, it's the patients who are left struggling to navigate an increasingly complex and expensive healthcare system. So, what do you think about this latest crackdown? Are you worried about the future of compounded GLP-1s? Will patients be forced to pay sky-high prices with no alternatives? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on this ongoing battle.